Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you caught in the last video, you saw that we were doing some laminate testing for a new mold that I have in production. And that is going to be a redesign of the Shatterbait. We're doing version 2 now. And what's very exciting about that mold, we made some changes to the profile and whatnot. We added a bigger eye to hopefully hold a 7 to 8 millimeter eye. That way if I want to put eyes on it, I can. And if I don't want to, well, then I don't have to, and I can just run it just like I want on a jig head or on the back of a bladed jig. But what's most important about the new mold is it will be laminatable. So the thing with that is I want to replace a bunch of the colors that I have in the lineup currently with laminates. I'm probably going to do all laminates for the Screenshot Shad except maybe a white. I might offer a solid white with it. So, but that comes with a lot of testing because we have to decide which laminates we want to include in the lineup and which ones we don't. So the last video we checked out kind of a spin-off of the Bee Height color, which I am a big fan of. So if you didn't see that, definitely go check that out. It is a great video. But today we are going to build another laminate version for that lineup. And I saw some stuff online that I really liked. That is a black back with some purple flake and then a completely clear underneath. And I think it looks pretty awesome, and I think we can replicate that here today. We're gonna break out some 8-bit powder, and we're gonna take out some purple flake and just see what we can come up with. I think we can get pretty close to what I have in my head, but we'll just have to see. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, let's see if we can make this top color. I've never made this before, so you'll just have to bear with me as we go through this. But I think we're gonna use this 1/24. It's just a large black generic flake. We are gonna use some Bait Plastics Black. We are going to use some 0.015. This is a purple hex flake from Bait Plastics. And we're gonna top it off with a little Crown Royale from 8-Bit Baits, just to make it a little more spicy. And we're gonna see how it looks. I don't want this to be completely translucent, so, wow, that's gonna make a big mess. Don't touch anything. Okay, we're gonna start with, let's start with maybe 7 drops. This is 2 cups, by the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And let's see what that looks like. I kind of want like a smoky color to it. I want you to be able to see through it, but I don't want it to be like where it hides the flake. And I don't want it to be super light either. I think that 7 drops is going to be really close. Get that dye off my finger before I just get it all over everything. And let's add some of this large black flake. Sprinkle some of this in here. I just do this by feel, by the way. If you're ever wondering how much I use, I just kind of do what I want and put it in there until I feel like it's about right. I'm gonna mix this in. Now we're gonna use this purple flake. Sprinkle some of this in there. I don't wanna go overboard, so we'll start small. We can always work our way up. It's a lot easier to put it in than it is to take it out. So let's see. That's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go just a hair more. And again, I'm doing it by feel, so if you're trying to copy this, you're just gonna have to kind of guess based on what I just did on the video. And I think that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna get something to get this Crown Royale out of here. I don't have the small measuring spoons, unfortunately. Not any that are small enough, so what I'm gonna do is use this stick here, and we're just gonna wing it. And then if I need to get an exact recipe, we can do that, but look at that lid. That's that color we're gonna put in here. And a little bit goes a long way, so I don't want it to turn completely purple. Let's see what that looks like. I just want it to have a hint. I don't want it to turn my whole pigment purple. I made some pretty drastic changes to this. One of the reasons being I actually shot some of it in that first little clip. And what the deal was is it's just too translucent. Like we can hold it up here to the light and we can just see through it extremely well. You can see through it all the way through the belly. And that is just too light for what I'm really wanting. This is a fine color. It will catch it excellent. But we went ahead and darkened it up a lot. So I actually added 15 more drops of the Bait Plastics Black. I filled up a whole test block trying to get the transparency just right. And I also wasn't happy with how much purple was in it. So we are going to add some more of this purple flake and see if we can get more of that purple to come through. And that's what we want. We want a lot more purple coming through. We want it to kind of stand out. Otherwise, it's just a glorified gizzard shad, and we want more of that purple just like that. I want it to definitely stand out and kind of set it apart from just the normal shad. So just kind of wanted to update you on the process, and that way you can make sure you make the changes ahead of time if you're wanting to match this. It's really hard to pick up all of this purple on the camera, but there is a lot of purple in this black. But this is a last look at these before we do our laminates. And you can tell there is our clear plastisol that has no additives at all. Finally found an angle where you guys can actually see the purple in the back of this bait. But yeah, this is definitely the best angle that I've found so far. And you can see all that purple working its magic in the back of the bait. But this is what it looks like for me all the time. But it is definitely not an easy color to pick up on the camera. And I'm sure product photos for these are going to be an absolute nightmare. But that is just part of the fun. So there you go. You can get a good idea of what this color laminate looks like. Here's a look at it up close for the Kirby Cheater. You can see all that goodness popping there in the back, and finally got a decent way to show you guys this color. Dang, sure like it a lot. And I'm going to be throwing these very, very soon. Here's a look at it in the Glory Crawl. It's super hard to get this one to set up right. Just all the mass wants to go to one side, but I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what that color looks like in the Glory Crawl. What better bait to check out a shad pattern than the Shatterbait itself? It's just a great looking mold, and it shows off the shad patterns extremely well. So we'll pull one of these out and take a look at it. You can see all that purple coming through right there on the top, and just a great looking pattern, and I think the fish are going to love it. This is a bait pattern that I'm going to put onto the Shatterbaits, and I think the next pattern we're going to play with may be bluegill. So stick around for the bluegill pattern. It's going to be kind of a watermelony top with a orange belly, and that will probably be the next set of laminates that I do on the channel. But yeah, there is all kinds of goodness going on in the back of that bait. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed pouring some laminates with me today. This color was a whole lot of fun to pour. It checked a lot of boxes for me, and I think it's going to fit in beautifully in the lineup. But stick around for the next video. We're going to be doing a bluegill laminate. I picked up some pigments recently from Lure Works. It's going to make that a whole lot better process. We're going to be doing a watermelon color back with a bright orange belly underneath. And we'll probably throw in some 8-bit just to really take it over the top. But I'm excited to do that laminate. I'm excited to do it here on the channel. And I'm very excited to get the new screenshot shad in so that we can implement these colors into one heck of a lineup for that, and hopefully expand it into the other baits. So that is the official game plan of what I'm hoping to do. But I want to put together a nice lineup and get all these recipes figured out. And speaking of recipes, if you want the recipe for this, I will leave it down in the description like I tried to do in every video so that you guys can replicate this if you want. If you want to get any awesome molds like the ones we used here today, there'll be a link in the description to Epic Bait Molds, as well as a link to 8-bit baits and a link to my store if you want to pick up any baits from me. All that money goes back into the channel so I can keep making these videos for you guys. But I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the nice comments that you guys always leave. I read all of them, so I appreciate you guys so much for taking your time to do that and always watching the videos on the channel. So appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Stick around for the bluegill laminate video. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video.